Hello everyone and welcome back to Pacific Drive. Enjoy me now blasting through a hot zone to the best of my ability. Get off my car. Now, I'm on my way to the new zone. Not much has happened. Upgraded my trunk space. Added a few upgrades in the garage. Nothing too major. But now, like I said, on my way to the new story mission. I'm going to start bypassing just to drive parts until I get to the new zones. I think that's fair. Just look, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 transitions, 3 or 4 transitions yet. So I will bring you guys back when we get to the new story zone, which it feels like it's already going through the next wall, but we'll see. Oh wow, that is dark. Overcharge electricity. Yeah, we will see you all when we get to the new zone. Let's just go. Get out of this zone. That zone was terrible. I spent 2 seconds there, and I knew it was going to be a bad time.
Are you ready, driver? Okay, first off, I've loaded up 3 locations on your ARC device map. You see them? Head to whichever strikes your fancy.
You're sending them to the visions?
Sure am. We're gonna use this.
My optical vassalizer. We shouldn't use that.
Why not?
I mean, it's been decades. No way that thing is in any sort of working shape.
I've been fixing her up in secret, and I'm sorry. Don't be mad. It's gonna be a surprise for your birthday. Oh, I've gone ahead and made an itty-bitty modification to your headset, driver. I've hooked up the vassalizer here to modulate your scan function. Think of it like like an extra layer of mayonnaise on your technology sandwich.
What are you using the vassalizer for?
No spoilers. We have to tell the story from the beginning. Driver, get ready to feast your eyes on the visions. So we told you about the mass hallucination. Hundreds of people, 30 seconds of crazy, yada yada. But there was one instance where that event and the remnants intersected.
The story of Laura Cesari. Laura worked at ARDA as an executive secretary. She put in her hours, but she spent her evenings with a real passion. Painting. When the hallucination event swept through, Laura was overtaken like everyone else. But for her, the visions didn't stop. She tried painting them, but grew frustrated at her inability to recreate what she saw. Now at first, Arda wrote her off as one of the many whose brains got scrambled by what they saw. Until Laura stumbled across a rusty can of paint in the woods. It was a remnant. Once she started using this paint, the visions in her paintings began to come true. She painted feverishly for over a year, chasing the visions the entire time.
Until the day the paint ran empty.
And then she disappeared. like all remnant holders do.
Now that we know the remnants and the mass hallucination are related, maybe Laura's visions can help us out.
Please allow me to scrape along the wall, please. A giant tower?
The Great Pile-Up. You know, if you catch the mural at the right angle, when the moon is right overhead, you can spot the helmsman's body in one of the boats.
No chance. It's a paint smudge, nothing more.
Believe me, it's true. I've seen it.
Yo!
Hey, is it just me or did this mural look different before?
Probably the instability messing with the paint over time. It's been decades after all.
No,
It's taking my stuff!
Something's definitely off. Hey, where's our old notes from when we took a field trip out that way? Driver, why don't you go ahead to the next one while we investigate this? This is where your theory comes in,
Frickin'
Francis.
pickpocket. Knock it off!
Oh, look at me babbling away. Francis, you explain it. It's so good.
No, it's just... I'd rather not.
Mom, we talked about this. You should be proud of your word. Toot your own horn.
Not this time.
Okay, well, Francis' theory, his entire branch of research was that the zone exhibits a property seen nowhere else on Earth. Every phenomenon that occurs here leaves its fingerprint forever on the physical space. So he created this device to pick up on these sub-physical after effects. How did you explain it? It was like identifying a whale's favorite color using only the wake it leaves behind. The rest was science mumbo-jumbo.
It's a form of electromagnetic imprint. Anyway, it was a long time ago.
And what a better time than now to try it again.
Okay, so that line is a...
No, I'm telling you, the helmsman never made it out of the zone. He died here.
Not this again. I still don't know why you're so convinced he existed in the first place.
Driver, back me up here. This is how the story goes. It was the winter of '72. A ship set sail down the Columbia River 100 miles east of here. The helmsman
Was overcome by bad weather, and while in a particularly foggy patch, the boat hit something, and the impact threw him from the deck. When he woke up, he was on a boat on this very lake, smack in the middle of the zone, with no idea how he got there. He had with him a ridiculous amount of cash and paid anyone and everyone to get him
out of the zone. But no matter how he tried to leave, on foot, in a transport, he would always head into a fog and reemerge on another boat. At last count, the Great Pile-Up was 20 boats high and 30 boats wide.
A limb duplication glitch, nothing more.
And you, of all people, blaming Lim Tech instead of a good old-fashioned mystery?
It doesn't add up. Arda's favorite pastime was carting people out of the zone. How could someone actually fail to escape? And a mysterious man with a backpack full of cash, and the one place he can't spend it. Seems awfully fishy to me.
Okay, any more stories? Ooh, I thought that was a deeper section there. Oh, another mural. Can I go in here? Okay.
Ah, the Bigfoot mural. My personal favorite. Did you see that, Francis? Oh boy, Francis, look. Look here, it's different from our sketch when we visited in '82.
It's all scrambled, but the shape seems familiar. If you tilt your head, doesn't that kind of look like Mount Olympus?
Oh, Francis, you...
Flippin' genius! It absolutely is! Wait, let's look back at the first one. What's different there?
That shape right there, is that Hook Valley?
Whoa, no.
All the topographical maps of the peninsula. You look around the areas where you'd get that view of Mount Olympus. See, Francis? I told you your basilizer would work.
I don't think this is the basilizer's doing.
Driver, we're on to something. Get to that third vision.
Driver, if you come across a mushroom like the one in the mural, do not eat it.
No matter how tasty it might look.
You're speaking from personal experience. And let me tell you, it wasn't pretty.
Oh, just thinking about it makes me want to puke all over again. You've probably passed the biogenerators by now. They're our source of power in the mid-zone, and one of the best demonstrations of renewable limb tech. Yes, these battery farms keep our lights on, but more importantly, they're also the only place in the entire zone where anomalized mushrooms grow.
And guess who turned out to be the world's biggest fan of those mushrooms?
Bigfoot itself. And the vision foretold its arrival in the zone.
It started when those pods hanging from the battery farms were found chewed up.
At first, they blamed it on the local wildlife. This was back when we used to have some. Then, the sightings of 10-foot-tall creatures started that didn't attract much attention on their own.
Not until the first footprints were found. The Olympic Peninsula has always had a collection of Bigfoot sightings, but they were rare until Bigfoot had its first taste of the anomalized mushrooms. Then it couldn't stay away. And that's when the Squatches came knocking. They jumped the walls, set up camp, and they got to investigate it. Once they learned of the Sasquatch's appetite for these mushrooms, they cultivated entire farms of the stuff.
For months, they propagated mushrooms and set traps. And for months, evidence mounted that Sasquatch was making its rounds and evading those traps. Until one night, the experts disappeared.
Bigfoot got them, no question.
Come on, all 8 at once? How is that possible?
Never get in the way of a hungry Sasquatch. So about that last vision. I can't. Yeah, I can't even look at it. Francis, you explain it.
Maybe you've already seen them, driver. A freestanding bright blue door in its frame, out in the wilderness with nothing around it. If you do see one, don't get anywhere close to it.
I don't want to talk about it.
He was pretty close to a doorway when it opened. It's called the inverting doorway.
When the door is shut, it's safe. But once in a while, it opens, and everything near it is turned inside out. Its victims are mostly
structures on the inside. It's not fun to see. Once, a group of hikers didn't heed the warning, and
No, we're done here, driver. If you see one, you stay away from it. That's all you need to know. Let's go.
What a mess. What a mess.
The inverting doorway.
Ugh. I don't like this one.
Alright.
Bingo!
Return
see
to
that pattern
the
in the last mural? That flower only grows above a certain elevation. Put the three locations together, and you've got a square mile in the northeast corner of the deep zone. Huh. The visions were pointing towards something the entire time.
Hey, Hoppy, you can stop pretending to ignore us now. Take a look at this fine work. We've pinned down the location for the source of the mass hallucination. That's where the driver needs to go.
Well, what do you know?
Well, I knew the basilizer worked. What did I tell you, huh?
He still doesn't know, Francis.
You know what? Hoppy?
Not my story to share.
I would love to stop and collect more, but no, thank you.
Basilizer, they're illegitimate.
Wait, what are you saying?
I built that device to prove my imprint theory, and it was on the verge of getting the results I needed. But my research...
Are we gonna hear that? Rest of that? Apparently not.
Interesting thing about that deep zone area you identified. I ran every coordinate in that area through the AUTA database, and what turns up? But access logs with entry records for Dr. K up through March 1963.
What?
No, the doctor died in 1961. And then the lab accident.
So we were told. Then, I found access logs for both that deep zone site and Red Meadow. Years and years worth of activity.
Red Meadow Research Facility? But it was demolished the same year. After the structural damage caused by the... lied about that too, didn't they?
It appears so. The driver should give the Red Meadow ruins a visit. If Dr. K didn't die that day, I'd like to know what was keeping him so busy.
So would I, but... do we have time for this? We don't know how long the driver's got with that remnant.
And that's why we need this information. Whatever Dr. K was doing relates to all of this. It may be the key to what lies at the end of the road for the driver.
I... agree with you. God, I hate saying that.
Driver, I've marked the Red Meadow facility on your route planner. Head there whenever you're ready.
Lost the headlight. Yeah, this is something that I unlocked. It's blowtorch. A little bit more effective, a little more long-lasting than the putty. If it was only this easy to repair cars. Wow, I can't believe I damaged it that much. Sealing kit. I'm gonna need like 5 of those things. One for you. Need one more. Need a back bumper still. And we need a front headlight. Need some juice. Back bumper, huh? Can I make another blowtorch? I cannot because I need Marsh eggs. So putty it is. And we're gonna put you in there for the trouble times. I can't believe I threw out my crude flashlight. That kind of has me a little upset. Oh well. Got another one. You're flashing. What do you read? I don't know Morse code. Alright, what can you offer me? Fuel synthesizer. It refuels? Extra large roof storage. I don't really need the storage. Reinforced light? Oh, corrupted energy. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Thermal vacuum. There's one, I don't leave it at 0.7. Cool, I can actually get both. And that will completely drain. Yeah, give me one of those. Impressive chemistry and advanced filtration of this battery-powered device efficiently creates gasoline from various environmental substances that passively absorbs in the zone. Be sure to siphon it regularly. So it costs electricity, but gives you fuel. I haven't had a reason for that yet. Marsh eggs and chemicals. Do I have another plasma? Oh yeah, you like the plasma scrapper? Pretty cool, huh? I do not. We're gonna make another one. Just because. The standard. Scrap everything. I always thought it put it in a trunk. That is not the case. That is not the case at all. There we go. We are fueled up. We are repaired up. Fragile. Whatever that means. Oh, thank God we're heading north. Because this is getting a little dicey. Should be clear sailing. facility. Interesting.
You know, I remember red metal like it was yesterday. You up to your eyeballs in paperwork. Francis coated in chalk dust from the blackboards.
You mistaking my lab notes for trash pile and throwing away weeks of work.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see it again.
They bulldozed that facility to the ground. There's nothing left to reminisce about.
You ain't kidding. That's a pretty powerful vacuum. Thought I had it in here. We don't need to go near that, so we're gonna baja a little bit.
You ever regret all this?
From the very second I heard your voice coming through my speakers.
I mean, everything that happened. Handing over Lynn. The way the project ended. It comes to Ellen. Your career. The entire damn Olympic Peninsula. She's still here.
So are you. You chose your urban legends over everything else.
You wonder if I regret it?
Oh, I have no interest in regret.
I want to know if you ever felt that leaving was a real option.
After everything I've seen and heard and felt here,
No. Not a chance.
Then we have that in common.
Ooh. A big old wall. Thank you. Give me a boost. Let me go.
How's Francis?
He hasn't left the bedroom.
I'm sorry. You didn't know about his demotion. It wasn't my secret to tell.
It's fine. This is between him and me.
Should I be up on this ramp? Oh boy.
so,
What did Alan tell you about his work? He was second in command of Dr. K's lab, after all.
Alan didn't discuss his work with me, nor did I share mine with him.
Wait, you were head of the whole stinking department.
you must have known something about what their lab was doing.
If there was anything useful to be found, I'd have sussed it out already. That's all I did after the accident. Try and fail to find any answers.
Why? Just want the crystals, just want the crystals, get me out of here. Where are we going now?
Dr. K's access records were coded to the lab that used to be here.
I'm feeling less optimistic by the second. Not a scoured this place clean.
Something's here, we just can't see it.
Oh, following a hunch. Not your usual MO, Oppie.
Oh,
No, but being
shite.
suspicious of Arda is.
That's not good. I need a ceiling kit. Bad. Actually, two. I got two flats.
Whoa, driver, hang on. Where are you going? That should have been the end of the facility.
According to the blueprints, anyway.
I am limping along, thank you.
Security protocol activated. Scan artist security credentials immediately.
Well, well. After all these years and Anna still has something to hide. We're definitely onto something now.
Driver, anything you find down there, scan and transmit it back to us. We'll work on disengaging the security protocol.
Okay, here's something. This thing in the deep zone, they called it the Well.
Oh, fantastic. Tobias, run those reports through the decryptor and see what you can find.
This is cool.
Oh, you'll like this, Tobias. Your remnant origin story, if you will.
Let me guess. You're about to ruin a good urban legend with a bunch of science.
Fine, I'll read this one myself. Nice work, driver. We'll review these and summarize our findings after.
Let me guess, you want to jump my car into it. Having Tesla coils around is not really my forte. Or blindly jumping into swamp fluid. On up on.
These lab notes are complete gibberish.
What about these diagrams, though? It looks like he was trying to convey something.
You can admire the doctor's newfound art skills all you want. You won't find anything useful in them.
This is a decrypted record of the accident. Uppy, are you sure you want to hear this? It's got details about Helen's final moments.
It's been over 30 years. I'm past ready. Go on, driver. Keep snooping and see what else you can find.
On foot, because my car is busted. A lot of plasma down here.
Alan's lab notes. Maybe my late husband sent us something useful from the grave after all.
And you're all clear.
Give us a moment. We'll let you know what we found in all this data. You can make your way back to the auto shop after you're done scouring the place. And driver, thank you.
Scouring what? I have nothing to fix my tires. Still pretty cool. The lore in this game is actually pretty deep. Why is my car faster with flat tires? The scorch. So, I have enough to activate.
Driver, you hit the jackpot. We've got a lead on what you're heading toward in the deep zone. Tobias, give us the rundown about the well.
ARDA classified it as a hotspot of ultra-high energy gamma radiation. Its eruptions were spontaneous, and ultimately ARDA made no conclusion about what caused it, when it would blow, or how destructive it would be. ARDA, of course, wanted to control this bottomless well of energy. So Well, they brought in Dr. K and Alan to research activation and containment. They discovered a way to reliably trigger the well, and that was the remnants.
And that's what the remnants have been leading people towards. The well.
We're gonna shoot over.
This second report's a good one. Ready to hear where the remnants came from? The original remnants were created in Dr. K's lab. They aimed to create a trigger for activating the well. By infusing objects with a carefully calibrated limb wave, the ones that shared a resonant frequency would...
Yeah, just get to the good stuff.
You know, you'd be a much better ghost hunter if it weren't for that unfortunate attention span. Reading this makes it obvious how the remnants ended up in the wild.
Wait, what? How?
The gamma ray surge that caused the mass hallucination event. That energy irradiated everything within a 10-mile radius. Objects with the right characteristics absorbed that energy and became the remnants people found out in the zone.
Wow. Francis would get a kick out of that one. I'll tell him later.
Ooh.
I've reviewed Dr. K's lab notes. Now we know what he was doing in that lab after the accident. Spinning in circles for years.
His injuries were real. Dr. K's radiation exposure should have been fatal.
And the minute he could stand on his feet again, Arda shuttled him right back to his lab and bid the monkey to dance.
They allowed him to carry on in the hopes that he would reproduce anything useful. He worked for 2 whole years before they quietly retired him from his post.
Sorry we scrambled your brain. Here's your pension. Bye. You got that accident record ready, Tobias? It's time.
Okay, then. September 14, 1961.
Arda's finalized report on what happened that night. Dr. K and Alan were testing the activation potential of lab-created remnants. That night was a run-of-the-mill remnant test. Nothing out of the ordinary. The remnant in question was a tungsten cube. At 3:23 a.m., the cube was...
Was brought towards the well. The well reacted at nominal levels. However, at the 500-meter distance, the cube was sucked into the well and triggered the gamma ray surge. The energy output continued ramping up, and at 15 seconds, showed no signs of stopping. Then, Alan...
Go on. I can handle it.
Dr. K testified that Alan engaged the suppression protocol, then the kill switch, both of which failed. Dr. K ordered Alan to get to safety, but Alan insisted on staying at the controls. Only when he flipped the radiation polarity did the energy output plateau, then collapse back into itself. Alan's gamma radiation exposure was fatal due to his proximity to the well. If it weren't for him, the entire zone might have gone under.
That's who Alan was. Loyal until the very end.
I'm sorry, Abby.
I'd expect nothing less from him. Once that car gets to the well, we can expect another gamma ray eruption. We'll need a way to cut it off. And I may have found the answer at Alan's lab notes. His work on that suppression technique was top-notch.
What's interesting is Dr. K and Alan didn't know any more than we do now.
They had no conclusions about what the well is.
Or what the remnants did. Or how they interacted with this well. Maybe they're ladles that scoop out a metered amount of gamma radiation. Maybe they trigger an eruption that we can't stop and will destroy the zone if we get it too close.
That's a hell of a range. What are we going to do?
We keep going.
But if it's an eruption...
I already sacrificed the Olympic Peninsula once for Lim Tech. How many chances for total and utter fallout does a gal get in her life, huh?
Hobby. In another life, we would have made a fantastic team.
In no universe would I not have murdered you in your sleep.
Well, that's being honest. Sealing kit. Repair, cool. Mechanics kit. Of course. I want that plasma. I want that plasma charger. Dang it. Okay, so I got one fixed. I'm not gonna do a run for the well with a car that has a blown tire. Not gonna happen. Got what I needed. Blown out. Fix. None. We got two of those, we got another one of those. I know what happened to my stuff. That creature that was yanking stuff out of my car. Let's go. Straight shot right down the road. That's all I'm doing. More or less. I gotta read the logbooks and see what I can find out what actually the limb tech is.
Now we go into the deep zone. Easy peasy.
Except for the issue of the old wall.
Right, yeah. That.
You got some genius idea up your sleeve, huh?
Is that how you think it works? That scientists can't run genius at will?
Well, yeah. Do you?
Well, in this case, I do. But don't expect it to work like that every time. Drive. The quarantine checkpoints will be the best way through the old wall, but they're death traps in their own right. But I designed something to help. Check out the blueprints I sent over.
Limb shield?
The old anomalies took up residence in the crossing points. It's not enough to have a shield. The shield itself needs to be shielded.
The energy drain on that shield is massive. It won't last you more than 5 seconds.
Yes, and?
You'll need to recharge on the go, but the Deep Zone's grid is completely dark.
You know, what if we could reroute our power into the deep zone? But we'd need to jumpstart the network somehow.
That car is basically the world's most overpowered electromagnet on wheels. The driver induces a current, then you open the electrical floodgates.
They'd have to induce the current the entire way through the old wall while making the crossing and maintaining speed.
I don't know what to tell you. If you don't believe the driver and that car's got what it takes by now, then go back to hunting ghosts. We've got a job to do here.
This could work. Are you in, Francis?
I don't know.
Look, we have a real chance of losing everything at the old wall. I'd like to not fail this far along.
How can we know this will work?
We don't. That's how science works. We form a theory, and we test it, and we fail. And fail, and fail, and only sometimes do we succeed.
Come on, Francis. Please?
Fine. I'll do it.
All right. The team is assembled.
Driver, get on with building that limb shield. We'll work on spinning up the power grid in the meantime.
Okay, well, that's just took a turn. Yeah, I don't have the putty for that. Let me the eggs. Not concerned about glass, actually. Alright, first thing, a locker. Bigger locker. Oh, explosives. So, I need another impact hammer. I need another off-road tire. So I think that's the car is okay. Minus the back window being smashed. Yeah, my spare tank I had, everything is gone from that creature. That's a side tank. That's not gonna do me any good. I did build the roof rack. Yeah, I think we're pretty much where we're at with upgrades. Don't think there's much more we can do. Resource radar? Not really concerned about that. Insulated bumper? But I never scanned a crackling crawler anatomy. Yeah, whatever that word is. Is it in here? I thought I bought the roof rack. I did. Oh yes. That is good. Really good. Oh, craft a limb shield. Whoops. I don't have plasma. I don't have plasma. Can you give me 5 plasma, please? Ugh. I don't have plasma. So we're gonna have to end this episode here. And I'm gonna have to go out and farm some things, some zones, for some plasma, amongst all the other materials, because I am running quite low. Really quite low. Of stuff that I want. Oh, I am two crystals away from the turbo engine. 2. Two away from the turbo engine. That literally is like double, more than double than what I'm rocking. Nine miles a gallon, 14, 18. It's an electric engine? It's an electric engine. So you'd want to, like, the biggest battery possible. Like a backseat battery. I only need unstable energy. With the 4. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of farming. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Is a lot of farming. But we will catch you all in the next episode. We're reaching the end of the series. You'll have to let me know if you want me to continue it, just exploring and doing stuff, but that's later on. But thank you all so much for watching, the support, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Later.